Made possible through support from CCDC, Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, Developmental Pathways, and the Arc of Aurora. A THINK+change training.
Hi there, I am Petrie.
And I'm Jeff.
We are advocates with the Arc of Aurora, and we are here today to provide another THINK+change training for you. Today's topic is on the use of medical cannabis in the community setting. At times, a bit of a dicey conversation. So we'd like to first start off by saying that this material has been prepared for informational purposes only. It is not intended to provide, promote, or legal advisors for specific and personalized advice if this is something that you want to explore. But now that we have that out of the way, Jeff, let's kind of dive right into this. So now that the use of cannabis is legal in the state of Colorado.
However, not legal to smoke medical cannabis in a public area.
Correct. With all of these exciting new rights and access to cannabis does come quite a few responsibilities. This is a really good one to start out with. Public consumption is still not legal. Can you outline a little bit more what that looks like, Jeff?
Well, I mean, you're allowed to use that, product in your own home, on your own property.
Okay.
Anything outside of that, it's not really legal.
Okay. So, I think a lot of, what we deal with too, with, just kind of our population in general, in the community, what does that look like? And a lot of our clients have providers. There's a lot of just kind of broad overview of what that looks like in the community. And, right now it looks different, just kind of depending. It's very setting specific, provider specific.
By setting, you mean like host homes,
Sure.
Assisted living, group homes?
Yeah, absolutely. Some people have been able to be really creative and find ways to access that in their community setting, and some people have been a bit afraid to jeopardize
federal funding.
Yeah,
right?
jeopardize state and federal funding, and they just haven't quite found a way around that yet. So, really important to be mindful of where you are and who you're with, and have conversations with the people around you to see what might be appropriate.
Yeah, and you need to be safe, and you don't want to put other people at risk.
Right.
So just be considerate also when you're thinking about using this medical cannabis.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to point out a couple of things that may present as challenges if you are using medical cannabis. A lot of people don't know this, but your SSI eligibility and claims can be denied if you use medical cannabis.
What?
Yes, it is a possibility that can be denied. So you want to be really careful about what that looks like, especially if you're new to the application process. A lot of times if you are a disabled person and you are in some kind of federal or state funded housing, you are allowed to ask for reasonable accommodations. Sometimes the use of medical cannabis will not be allowed because a lot of times these federal or state funded housing environments are considered drug-free zones.
Even edibles?
Yeah, you just need to be really careful about what that looks like because you're on, again, a state-funded environment.
And I would also encourage people to keep it in a safe, locked area.
Absolutely.
Once again, you don't want to put other people at risk.
Yeah, you don't want to put people at risk. Just as a reminder, the ADA does not protect the use of medical marijuana at this time.
What?
And so you just need to be mindful again of your setting, where you are, and kind of know the risks, but also understand, the benefits.
Yeah, and I would also say if you're having trouble or there's some blurry lines, call an IDT meeting with your team and just have an open discussion and see if they can come up with a creative solution.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the important piece is just the responsibility aspect of it. If it is something that you find that benefits you, enhances your life, your quality of life, that's fantastic. You just need to be really responsible around that.
And mindful of some of the funding of some of the agencies that you're working with.
Absolutely.
It might be something that they're worried about, but there is a way to at least try to be creative and troubleshoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well,
I think we've covered this. If you have any more questions, you can always reach out to any of your local ARC chapters. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to presenting to you more in the future.
thank you. This has been great.
Yeah.
THINK+change. Talks, trainings, and tools to help in your work for or with people with intellectual and other developmental disabilities. Learn more at www.thinkchange.training.